What's up guys, welcome to another brand new episode of Alt. In today's video I will be explaining how to use the in-game mechanic of input buffering. So what is input buffering? Input buffering is a game mechanic that exists in League of Legends that basically allows you to either queue up an action command before your champion is in range to execute it, or to queue up an action command while your champion is still in the animation of another move. So if done correctly, input buffering will allow you to execute multiple actions without any lag in between these actions. Now the mechanic itself is really easy to execute. You simply just queue up a command slightly before you're able to use it. So although it is really easy to perform, it is also extremely effective. To demonstrate how effective it can be, let me show you guys a common gameplay example from the point of view of someone who does not utilize input buffering. In this next clip, Graves wants to flash into an auto attack so that he can finish off the low health Corki. However, there is a slight delay as well as some inaccuracy from having to flash forward first and then having to move his mouse to right click Corki. And because of this delay and inaccuracy, Corki is able to flash out to safety. Now let me show you guys what would have happened in this scenario if Graves had utilized input buffering. So this clip starts off the exact same way where all Graves needs to do is flash into an auto attack to kill Corki. However, this time Graves utilizes input buffering and buffers the auto attack first by right clicking Corki before he flashes. The result is an easy kill. There is no lag whatsoever between Graves' flash and his auto attack, and it is impossible for Corki to live even though he flashes immediately after Graves flashes. Now that you guys have seen how beneficial it can be to utilize input buffering, let me go over some common combos you can use to input buffer in order to improve your gameplay dramatically. Keep in mind that there are two types of input buffers in League of Legends. The first common combo, which we've already seen, is flash into a buffered auto attack. Similarly, you can also flash into a buffered ability or spell cast. In addition, you can use an ability into a buffered auto attack, or use an ability into a buffered second ability. Furthermore, you can also use an ability into a buffered recall. Now I'm sure there are a lot more combos that you can input buffer, but these are simply the most common ones that you guys will be able to apply to your games immediately. So now that we've covered the basics of input buffering in League of Legends, let's move on to buffered input cancelling. Buffered input cancelling is a technique that allows a champion to use a self-stunning ability along with a buffered auto attack in order to auto attack while stunned by an enemy champion. Now due to the requirements of using this tactic, this is a tactic that is only usable by certain champions. Riven and Caitlyn are the two most popular champions who can use buffered input cancelling reliably. In order to perform buffered input cancelling, simply just use your self-stunning ability right before you get hit by an incoming enemy stun, and then input buffer an auto attack before your self-stunning ability's animation ends. In this video clip, Caitlyn is about to be stunned by Morgana's ultimate. Knowing this, she uses her self-stunning Piltover Peacemaker right before Morgana's ultimate stuns her, as well as buffering an auto attack right before her Q fires. The end result is that Caitlyn is able to auto attack during Morgana's stun. Riven is able to use her broken wings in a similar fashion. In this clip, Renekton activates his W and Riven sees this. Because Riven knows how to use buffered input cancelling, she is able to trade hits with Renekton even through his stun. And that concludes it for this episode of Advanced League of Legends Tactics. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to see more videos, or check out the alt playlist in the upper left hand corner.